Hello, welcome. My name is Sheep Thief. Today we're coming at you with some WARNO replay analysis. This is a game between me playing 4th Motorshooten versus Dede Obelo playing Berliner Gruppierung. This match is somewhat brief, but it's an unusual one, and I thought it would be worth recording. So, as you can see, my opponent goes for a T-34 rush, which I've never seen before. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 24 T-34s. You guys can see here, these are World War II tanks. Rusty buckets, 50-year-old rusty buckets. I do a standard thing. What I couldn't remember is if Berliner Gruppierung is the one with the Nighthawk. But I decided to go pretty heavy into here, not so heavy into here. This Metis was like failing so hard it would not get onto the road, which ended up being fateful. These SPW 40 P2s come forward. Looks like they just have sort of a machine gun, yeah. ATGM does get out. And at this point I'm kind of wondering where he is. Get a bit of a tick here. Try to get this in here to try to move that into this. Try to get, I should be more specific with my thises and that's. I get my CV into this even though it's running away. Rocket Helo does take this out. At this point I'm feeling kind of good. Not really sure what to be expecting at this point. I send a CV forward. He comes forward with a plane to take care of the helicopter. And these are AA-3. I don't quite know what that means. They seem like they're decently good. They're just MiG-21s though. High explosive bomb comes here. The fact that he gets this SPW in here is really disruptive. Because I wanted to bring this over here to get this point sorted out. But let's get to the main event, which is the arrival of a bunch of T-34s. So we'll get a nice cinematic look at this. What war is this? Is this World War II? No, it's 1989. My Metises are highly suppressed. These T-34s get really close, and the Metises do not kill them in one hit. I don't think is very realistic. They do die a lot, but the Metises don't kill it in one hit. It takes 2 hits from a Metis. He sprays everything down with the planes, and you can just see there's this wave of them. I try to pull back the Metises, but everything in here dies. He loses some planes. And at this point I'm feeling like I can stabilize, but the thing is, like, once your ATGMs are gone, and really once the ammo is gone, if it takes 2 hits each, I have 6, how many, 6, okay, so, yeah, we should have more than 24 shots, but I guess we need 48 shots. No wait, he has 24 T-34s, so we need 48 missiles to kill those T-34s, and that's not taking into account misses or anything like that. And look at how they swarm. So a bunch of them aren't dead, honestly. I actually thought I killed way more of these. He does a good job of like blitzkrieging straight through with this, being very annoying. And he just pushes. He pushes really hard. He gets he helos a Off-Klar over to the side here, MiG-21 circling overhead, and then he gets the point. And I still haven't gotten this yet. And you can see that my position, I very much overestimated my position. I thought for sure I'd killed way more T-34s and that this was like not going to work, but this worked very well. These T-34s are now marching across the field. I think once they get close, they're like they're kind of scary. Far away, maybe not so much. Like there were 3 of them pointing at this BMP right there and they didn't kill it. His planes, I thought his planes were good too, but apparently not. He does have a shield car that takes care of this helicopter. Which did dissuade my, what maybe should have been my first response, which is to send like a defensive helicopter. Maybe I should have done that earlier. My MiG-29 takes a hit from the Coob and goes down. I am feeling very unhappy with this situation right now. This homosexual is keeping any further incursion from reaching me. So the homosexual does seem to kill it in 1 hit. And I get a helicopter forward, but it runs out of ammo. And reinforcements are starting to pour in the form of Coobs and heavier tanks. Over here I'm trying to win this infantry fight in the forest, but I've got stuff that needs to happen in multiple places. He gets his CV into this zone, and this guy could just not kill it. It's crazy. He misses, and then the ATGM has to deal with it. Like, this is what I was hoping to hold on to keep this whole thing stable. But with like the confusion that this caused made it so that this didn't get reinforced. This T-55 pushes in here. This T-55 is a real tank that will kill this Fallschirmjäger. Try to shift this over, but I don't have an ATGM here anymore. I needed to spread out ATGMs more. I needed a bunch of things. This was not fun, guys, I'm telling you. Definitely should have engaged this infantry and not let it get a foot in there. This is RPO infantry, though. It's going to be painful to fight. And then he does a shift. Now that he's taken this, he does a heavy shift over here, cutting off my line of supply here, and thus is kind of putting the nail in the coffin for this this position in here. I've got this supply unit that boom, boom, dead. And his like slightly battered looking wave has done what it needed to do. They're the husks, corpses of T-34s all over the map. But they gave one last hurrah and then went to T-34 heaven, where I suppose they deserve to be. You can see the noble T-34 in the field, proudly pointed towards the enemy, killing Germans one last time. And it's just now my reinforcement paths are so disturbed by this, and the T-55s come out, but I'm just having trouble. And he follows up these tanks with well, maybe they're not out yet. Yeah, I'm not seeing him actually. At some point he gets a unit out that was causing me a bunch of grief. Trying to get keep the foothold on the forest. My goal at this point is to try to get a line right here and just degrade and win a war of attrition, because at this point I do feel like I've killed more units than he has, although we should look at the post game because I'm not sure about that. ATGM takes out my CV. He has one of these pack guns, devilishly hard to hit, and then look at this wave of units coming in. Wachschützen, RPO coming in. He does get the point, and now I've lost my, and you can see me just like, I'm angry. It's painful. I've got units like sort of meandering in, like forgetting what they've even done. So we'll watch how this T-34 does against this. Will it hit one of them? Yeah, it does hit it. So at close range they aren't terrible. I don't even know what I'm doing with this Pioneer. Over here I'm trying to win a fight. Big build up of units in here. More T-34s. But I have no support, it's just this helicopter. I do send out a cluster bomber to try to cause trouble. Trying to route this Fallschirmjäger over here to intercept these scout units. He tries to get out of the way of that. Let's see how this does. Solid hit right there. But I have lost the point. You can see my desperate attempt to get my foothold back in, but this was... It really did feel like for him, from his perspective, it was like wave, cut off, wave, inject. Like, everything went according to plan for him. I'm trying to think where he was, like, confounded at all. So, I think there was a scenario where I could get a tank build up and try to reverse this, which is what I was going for at this point, but he makes another very good call, which is the deployment of these Malyutkas, which are very strong. I like, or they seem really good to me. They're very long range. Good stealth too, I could not see them. T-35s are having a lot of trouble. You can see here I'm pausing them, but this thing is going to suppress. And then I've got this fight over here where just like sort of bad luck. Like just the timing was way off there. What I wanted to do is sort of wrap this around and have this guy intercept, but instead they just ended up killing him. Right here there's a fight. My T-55 does win, but here comes this Malyutka, which is sitting from so far away. And at this point I'm realizing that I have no vision on the field. And looking at the map now, he was dominant at this point. Just this massive buildup of units. Taking very questionable trades at this point. T-55 goes down. And I think at this point we can speed it up. See my continued mistakes. Bunch of yeah, here we go. Rockets to take out any pockets of resistance that are left. I send out some desperate helicopters to try to get some reinforcements on the field. You can see I'm focusing on recon units just so I can see stuff. Really felt like I couldn't see stuff. See this SPW heading towards my cube, try to save it. T-55, nothing, there's like, I can't see anything. AT plane tries to like stem some damage here. Do get a T-34, spray some infantry with my fighter, trade for fighter planes, more AT planes, cluster bomb strike. Really just trying to hold on for dear life here, but now that I'm seeing the replay, it was very much over for me. At this point I did feel like I had a chance. But reinforcements are flooding in. Look at this, like just this valley is fully in his control. At this point I don't really see a way back in. Barring some like really lucky airstrikes, which isn't really happening. These Shilkas can cause enough damage to the plane to keep them out of commission for a long time. This Einsatz group holding on for dear life. This Einsatz group's almost dead. I don't have any AT in here. This one's out of rounds, and this one is one of these satchel charge ones. So I start moving this across. Very unfortunate. Kub is almost out of ammo. And the wraparound through the forest, just there's no hesitation on it. He just pushes. And so at this point I am beginning to despair, and I fire this HE, or do this HE run on this T-55, which doesn't kill it, further sapping my morale. And he does get this in here, and it was this little thing that just, it broke my morale. This motor shoots in, didn't kill it right here, and then I try to get into here and it gets suppressed like so badly, and then he pulls it out and I give up. So he did kill a lot more, although I'm wondering how much of that was at the end. What I'm curious about is first of all, his rank. Let's take a look at rank 59. So he's a very good player. I am currently rank 300. So other than that, let's see how his units did. One T-34 did very well. How did this happen? How is that even possible? Yeah, each of these T-34s is getting more kills than it should. Now, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm trying to think what I should have done differently. I guess if you see a big pause in the beginning of the game, when you're playing against Berliner Gruppierung, maybe get ready for a T-34 charge. And what I would do is try to keep your units alive. Have them fire their ATGMs and their AT rounds, but try to pull them back, and your first reinforcement thing should be a second line of ATGMs. Because I think if he didn't push as hard with the T-34s and got kind of clogged up behind and didn't have that breakthrough moment, it could have been turned around. The other thing is that if they get close, that's when they're dangerous, I think. So try to keep them at a distance, and yeah, I guess this is just a warning for those of you out there who are playing against Berliner Gruppierung. Keep an eye out for this T-34 rush. Adios, see you guys in the next one.